Can you hear me? Okay, let's see if everything is working. Okay. Yep, that's awesome. Okay, hi everybody. This is day 1588. I just did a live stream on Facebook and now I want to stream to all the other platforms that I'm allowed to stream to or that I know how to do it. The Telegram, I'm trying to figure out. This is a huge education. And and this case is moving so quick along with the Walmart mass shooting case that, you just have to get it done. You just have to do it. You just have to get the word out there and pray that other people will share, that other people will care. And they have. And here we are. We're so grateful. It's almost Thanksgiving. We're 3 minutes short of Thanksgiving Day, but we're always grateful. We're always thankful for all of Team Find Richard Halliday, of all of those that really care what's going on when it comes to weaponizing our system against the most vulnerable and, really harming um, our security, our national security. What's going on is the weaponization is risking our national security. And the proof is in, Glennon Oakley Jr., Asia Graham, um, Richard Halliday, right? And many, many more. Elder Fernandez. I'm thinking about Austin Hawk. I'm thinking of Vanessa Guillen. All of these volunteers, soldiers that absolutely have lost their lives. Enrique Roman Martinez lost their lives for what? For failure of leadership. For failure of leadership, for the breach in security, absolutely breaches in security, ridiculous, insane policies, instead of defending our Constitution, what they're supposed to be doing. And, the weaponization of the system against its own. Absolutely. And it causes a lot of combativeness instead of esprit de corps, like it should. Um, it it creates a lot of hate crime instead of the Medal of Honor ethos. It it really is a national security risk, and so we believe that Richard's murder not only is it to shut him up about his complaints, but I think he was already starting to do that because of the last video. He was starting to understand that they wanted to murder him. And, but I think this is a hate crime, absolutely a hate crime, because there would have been, for military, this is, think about it. This is a military uh, structure. It is not democracy. You have to obey orders, and you have powers to send people away, to deploy them. Richard was asking to be deployed even to a war zone to get out of the situation of that unit, and they denied it for him. And so I believe that his murder was a hate crime, um, for being a whistleblower, for not wanting to go along with the child corn and the hundreds of thousands of children that were being exploited, that were taken and trafficked and then registered on Fort Bliss. We heard that the numbers were written on their clothes, even on their bodies, on their skin, like in the times of slavery, right? It is, and that they're mostly dead right now, that they are mostly dead. And so we'll see. I think the new border czar is going to get to the bottom of it. I don't know. He's saying so. So let's see. The proof is in the pudding. Tom Homan says he's going to get to the bottom of this to see what happened to these hundreds of thousands of children, and um, and also the politicians that let this happen, which is Veronica Escobar, the co-chair for the Biden and Harris campaign, and then the Harris campaign, of course, and that mismanaged over $1 billion, right? And of course, she mismanaged her her district, mismanaged Fort Bliss, mismanaged El Paso, mismanaged, and put in allowed a lot of imposters, impersonators, to act and to exploit the system, to weaponize the system. Um, and these are absolute, real allegations against her. And now we have the Walmart mass shooting and new news coming out today, breaking news, that Joe Spencer, who is the lead defense attorney for Patrick Crusius, um, calling for Bill Hicks, the prosecutor in the case, to be arrested for contempt of court, for breaking the gag order. This is just so rare. It is so rare. So, why is this happening? It's another deflection, I believe, but we'll see. But be aware. Don't get hypnosis, from the media tries to hypnotize you. Keep a clear head and look at all the information and see, um, what's really going on. And because Joe Spencer, I can tell you this, um, is this a reaction to maybe some of our um, filings? I think so. I think so because our filings are starting to get very, very solid. That's the best way I can put it. Because over the 4 years, our puzzle pieces are coming together, and it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And so our filings are becoming very, very solid. And so I think that they're very desperate in this Walmart case to try to dismiss the case altogether. Um, he's already made his millions, right, of state and federal funds off of it. But he got greedy, and he absolutely is evil, and he should lose his law license from this also. So, so we'll see. It's really crazy to see the defense want to arrest the prosecutor, but the prosecutor's not really a prosecutor because he's a usurper, right? And the defense attorney absolutely needs to lose his license because he violated so many laws with keeping from the public so many points in Patrick Crusius' case. Like, Patrick Crusius is a self-harming autistic individual that was in special education that absolutely could never, ever, ever pull this off. He couldn't even look. If you're a healthy, mentally healthy individual, but evil, right? Could you pull this off? It would be very unlikely for one person to pull this off. So for the whole lone shooter narrative is a bunch of bunk. It's a bunch of bunk. Okay, we've talked to so many people. It's absolutely a bunch of bunk. And then if you are a self-harming autistic individual that has spent your life in special education and just trying to deal with your mental health condition, could you do this with a manifesto and all the computer and the uploading and 8chan, know about 8chan and all of this stuff? And the shooting and the timing of the shooting, and could you try to turn yourself in twice, and could you go, um, i- you know, and then the whole racist thing, him saying no, that he's not, and Joe Spencer knowing that he's not a racist, knowing that he's not a white supremacist, yet let the media hypnotize the public that this was a racist hit, and not just the local public, but worldwide. This was international, because of UK, and Ireland and all that. It was worldwide. They were sharing this mass shooting, and so this is a real uh, serious offenses that Joe Spencer has made, knowing what he knows about his client. And there's so many offenses here. So I posted some of them up, and I'll post some more up. And I think him calling for contempt against Bill Hicks, wanting Bill Hicks arrested, that's what that means, for dismissal, or what, you know, um, a diversion, is a diversion away from his own offenses and his own violations. So that is, and of course, the big news that we filed in response to all of the K9 information, the 2479 building. This is Richard's um, former address, his last known location. We also believe it's the scene of the murder. Um, all the filings of that, we have done that. Um, yes, we have a lot to be grateful for. This case is moving so quickly that I do have to make sure that I can reach out to everybody that wants to hear, that wants to care, and depend on all of you, because we are being shadow banned. They don't like um, for some reason they don't like me talking about this. Um, you know, because that signals something, doesn't it? That signals something. So we depend on everybody to share what we have. So please share, and have a very, very happy Thanksgiving. We have so much to be grateful for in this country. And, there's a lot of lies about Thanksgiving too, a lot of misinformation. And I did a lot of studying with that, with the homeschooling, because I wanted to make sure that I give as best as I could information to our children. Um, and I think looking at population charts are very, very handy in this. And I also think that uh, learning the Thanksgiving story, the founding of this country, and everything, this is just bonus material right now. I think looking at the felling of trees is very, very important, and what that does. What that does when things are very wooded, thickly wooded, what kind of life that is. What happens when the trees are felled and fields are created? What happens then? I think that it's very important to look at population numbers. I think that is very important to look at, and it's really telling um, the story of Thanksgiving and how God works in good times and bad, and He really works, and He works for the good of those that love Him. And it's just amazing. We have so much to be grateful for, and this country is absolutely one of them. And one of the beautiful things that came out of this is called our Constitution, and the military is supposed to defend that Constitution. And it's so beautiful, because it gives us our freedom, and it really restrains the weaponization. Can you imagine, in a country that doesn't have our Constitution, how they weaponize their government against their people? So even with our fraud, it was restrained. So we need to get back to the full recognition of our Constitution, so that we can really have as much freedom as we possibly can. Thank you so much. God bless you, and happy Thanksgiving.